Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UGC Season 10 Premier Division. That's right, we're back with a new season after the break, and we're coming at you with some hot action this evening. My name is Magnum Phoenix, your host and caster, and with me, my co-host, co-caster, Benny Buckeye. How's it going, Benny?
It is going fantastic. Been on a long hiatus between Season 9 and Season 10, and suddenly, we're back. We'll be kicking things off with Oh Dear. Last year, an intermediate team. This year, making it up to the Premier Division. So definitely going to be seeing them bring out some new tricks. They were the champions of the division last season, so clearly put in a little bit extra work to get their SRs cranked up. And they will be playing against Baby Gnomes. I promise you, there will be no shortage of gnome puns and gnoming throughout the course of this match.
Well, we know that team is not a Gnoblin team. They're definitely not a Gnelf team, and that's right, they have to be a Gnome team. Like you said, there'll be a few gnome puns, I'm sure, but what's not a joke is the Premier League of UGC. That's right, it's a Masters level league. And so, to be able to participate in here, you have to have an average SR of 3,500 or above. And so we're looking at some pretty highly mechanically skilled players over here. So I'm definitely excited. Like you said, we've seen O'Dear compete in intermediate division in the past. And so they did very well, able to move up to Premier. And we'll see how they fare against the Baby Gnomes.
That we will take in a little bit here. We're starting to see the R's roll into the chat, and we are entering the game. Starting things off on Hanamura. Hanamura is a 2 control point map. And as you can see up in the top there, Oh Dear is going to be the red team. Captora, one of the team captains. Fierce, a series of digits I cannot pronounce in any way, shape, or form. We're going to have to come up with a name for them. Ryojong, Kasim, and Rattlesteak. So, at least 2 mainstays from last season in the intermediate division, Captora and Kasim. And then we have the Gnomes with Eincholis the King, Jammin, Sinoshore, Botversing, and Master in blue. So get used to those. Those are the colors that they will be for the entirety of the match. And if they're not, I will throw a hissy fit.
And it has happened before, but normally these teams are pretty good about keeping the colors correct. So we'll be looking at some interesting team comps from both sides here. Now, in the off season, we've been seeing a little bit of variation in the matches that we've casted and viewed. But the triple lineup still runs dominant. That's right. Goats didn't go anywhere while you were gone. And the lobby did.
Yeah, that's pretty scuffed. Hello?
You know what? It's okay. Because it's the first round, the first week of the new season, and everyone's getting their kinks worked out.
I guess it is the time of the season to do that. It is spring, after all. Not much worse time to, I'm just gonna let the joke die there. I don't even need to continue that. Y'all know where it was going.
I'm not sure that we knew where it was going, but
no, that's okay.
We know where you put it, and that was directly into the ground. You drove it 6 feet under. It's dead. It's over. I know what you're thinking. You're not gonna say it though, okay?
Yeah, y'all know what I'm thinking, but I ain't gonna say it. And if you're curious, ask your mother.
Or you could not think about it, and that would be fine as well.
That is a fine alternative. Ignore everything that I'm saying. If my mouth is moving, just shut your ears.
All right. Well, let's get back to the match, shall we?
Yeah, we'll get away from that tangent. So back to what we were talking about.
We were talking about triple reigning supreme, and that appears to be the case. Now, Hanamura, we have seen some interesting comps in terms of bunker in the past. We see like an Orisa take up high ground. On attack, we've even seen Symmetras come out to try and teleport to point, bypass bastion damage. But it does appear that Everyone's going to be running fairly standard, with the exception of nothing, actually. Everyone's running the triple goat setup.
Yeah,
ramming their
straight
horns
up goats.
and ramming their heads against each other here at the choke point of Hanamura Point A.
Oh no, Captora goes down already. Sinosure immediately erases Captora. That's not something that you see. She rarely gets caught out of position, but this is a division up, so it will be a little bit tougher. And we are seeing some hyper-aggressive plays coming out right now from Baby Gnomes. But now, with Captora back in the fold, pushing forward, almost goes completely down off of one dishing of damage, but it's not going to happen, and there's ultimates already. We see the rally come in. Sinosure deletes Captora again. Master removes Kasim, and that's a reset, a hard reset, all the way back into the point for Odir.
And that was about a minute-long fight. There were kind of two fights there. Captora was taken out early the first time, and then there was never really a full reset afterwards. So, minute shaved off the clock, that's about a quarter of the time. And it looks like ultimates are coming online for both teams. You got two on each side, and Kasim's going to be using that rally to push in and engage.
And dueling shatters, and almost all of Odir go down to that shatter. There's at least 5. Here comes the Graviton, here comes the Diva Bomb. Who's it going to find? It finds 3! Bot versing takes down Captora, Elio, and Rattlesnake. Fierce is DMAC, shot in the face by Master, and Ryujong goes down to NHOLS.
That was a big setup there. You had the King, he didn't have his Graviton Surge up right away. He got it mid-fight. Bot versing held on to that self-destruct until they were ready for the combo. That was their win condition, set it up beautifully.
Big old wombo into a big old combo. And we were seeing Jammin pop the rally right here a little bit early, and they're not going to be capitalizing on it too much with all that extra health. Here comes another shatter. It finds one. Jammin falls to Fierce. And another shatter. Oh dear, goes down. 3 are knocked under. Captora again being absolutely bullied by Sinosure. The Fire Strike erasing the big German's ability to manipulate the battle. But now Sinosure goes down. Fierce on the tear. Takes out the King as well. Rattlesnake takes out his counterpart in Anacholis. Spot versing says, farewell to the world, I no longer want to live. And there is the first point on Hanamura, finally taken by Odir with 1:20 remaining.
Alright, so that means they have about 5 minutes left to take the second point. And Odir has a little bit of momentum here. They have the Diva Bomb from Fierce. And so if they can maybe get an early pick with it, or force people into a position that they want to fight, that could be advantageous here. But instead, it's going to be Rattlesnake taken right off the bat. And with 2 down, that's very hard to push into Hanamura Point B. So Odir's just going to pull off and reset off of those deaths.
Make it a 3rd and a 4th as the King, Master, and the King add additional picks. It's a bit of a stagger, honestly. Odir's got to wait for at least 2 to respawn. Ryojong on the Zenyatta back up and running, and Elio also finally up. And the ultimate bank is not looking kind to Odir right at the moment. They have 1 Transcendence. They almost have a bomb. Pardon me, they have a remech and a bomb. Compared to Baby Gnome's 4 ultimates ready to roll on moment's notice.
Yeah. The 4 ultimates may be a little deceiving, though, because if Odir can set up this Grav Bomb combo, that may be all that they need to really win. So Fierce is going to be looking for that bomb as soon as the Zarya player is able to find it, but instead it's a shatter that comes through. Sinosure,
oh no,
absolutely cleaning house in the alleyway. Sinosure had a huge lineup there, was able to just slam the entirety of Odir down, and that's an easy cleanup crew from the rest of his team. So 1 ultimate to win that team fight. They still have 2 up, they still have 4 up, plus coming up on that town barrier.
So this team fight right here is going to be likely where we're going to see lots and lots of ultimates being popped, unless we have really good discipline. In comes the Diva Bomb. I don't know where that was intended to go, but it certainly didn't work. The Transcendence, the Gravitons, everything kicking off. Captora finally exacts revenge on Sinosure, but Bob Versing finds Elio, and Jammin finds Kasim. It doesn't catch too many out.
What happened? Captora actually landed a shatter on the Diva of Bot Versing, and it didn't connect. Like, it made the sound, but it did not knock the diva down. That was very interesting. I don't understand that.
Things you really hate to see. Oh dear does manage to get the first tick, all things considered, so that's going to at least help them out a little bit of a shorter journey to go there.
Yeah, it's definitely a help, but they're far from capping the entire thing. It's going to be an engage with the sound barrier to push in here, and it looks like they're taking the high ground. Very difficult to find kills right now. Captora finds herself low, taken down by Jammin.
They managed to find a whole second tick while everyone was still fighting up on the high ground. They dropped down and decided, you know what, screw it. We're going to forget engaging and just go for the cap. And now the contest is coming in. Jammin finds Kasim one more time. And it looks like Odir is going to back off on a little bit of a reset, but they do demech bots versing. The King, though, does take down Ryu Zhang. And it will be a reset while they wait for their Zenyatta to come back.
So, Ryu Zhang has to come back on the Zenyatta. He is 60% to a trance, died a little bit late because he didn't have the mobility. Oh my gosh, Master gets an early pick. That is precious time being shaved off the clock there. As a Brigitte, you either got to hold your shield up or you got to play corners. Sometimes you can get careless, you know, thinking you're invincible, but that right click from Master, showing off why Zen is so important in GOAT's team compositions.
Absolutely devastating. Like a medieval historian once said that I knew while he was watching a medieval movie, hold your shield in front of you, which is exactly what Sinosure does not do in that situation and pays the price as Ryojong destroys the German knight, but it's not going to matter. Bots versing and Master and Enicholas removing the remaining members of Oh Dear. Fierce jumps to their death. 3 ultimates to 3 ultimates with 1 minute remaining. This is last team fight territory.
Take a look at how Baby Gnomes are just winning these team fights without using more than a couple ults. Just that last one, they used a single ultimate to counter the shatter of Captora. So Master used that Transcendence, and they still have the beat here online from Enicholas.
And this is going to be it. 35 seconds remaining and everything is kicking off. In comes Graviton, in comes V-Bomb, in comes the Shatter. The Diva Bomb finds absolutely no one. Kasim and Elio doing work. Jammin and Sinosure both go down. Kasim on a tear. And the Cholos also goes down. Ryujong takes out fellow Zenyatta and Master. And this might be it. One big Diva Bomb. Who will it find? No one. Oh Dear has a chance right here. They are moments away from a full-on capture. Bots versing is demeched. But everyone from Baby Gnomes is coming back in, but it's not mattering.
It's full stall. Oh, that was a big grab, but the Transcendence from Ryu Jaehong comes and saves the map. Oh my goodness. In complete overtime, Oh Dear is finally able to cap second point.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Wow, that was scrappy. Yes, I would agree with Wolf in the chat here. Some scrappy fights going on, and not necessarily the cleanest engages and disengages. They last for quite a while. You know, ultimates seem to be kind of thrown out a little bit haphazardly, maybe. I think there's perhaps a little bit of lack of planning as they're going in. Seems like when you have a team and you're going in to win a fight, you should commit more than just one ultimate if it doesn't pan out. So, for instance, Captora came in with a Shatter one time. That was the only ultimate while they still had like 2 or 3 other ones up. That's with a minute and a half left on the clock. So, you gotta commit to your wins.
Ultimate usage definitely here. If you're going in, you've got to go all out unless you have a backup plan. That's where the in-game leader is going to have to really have their head in the game. I am noticing here that I might be mispronouncing a game. Nicholas instead of Nicholas. Okay, Nicholas it is. We're gonna call him Nick for short.
Like a eunuch, except Enoch.
Oh, cool. You make fun of my joke. You know what?
I'm sorry. Also, thank you, Macro Power, for the 2-month subscription. I appreciate it.
Yes, very
Shouting
good.
out,
Very good.
shouting out my subs.
Shout
Okay.
out to subs. Baby Gnomes now taking their turn on the attack. Looks like Sinosure maybe deciding better, but no, he's running right on back out. Hurls a fire strike in and feeds a little bit of charge to Fierce. So that Zarya already has a little bit of extra juice in the tank and gaining ever more. Fire strike does deal a little bit of damage right there, but on the whole, oh dear, not taking a whole lot of damage. And as Reinhardt just said in game, that is unacceptable if you are Baby Gnomes. No one has gone down just yet in this team fight.
Ooh. The chain stuns come out, and the wall kind of prevents the whole team of Baby Gnomes from going in. Chasm, masterclass on this Mei here, doing very, very good work for his team. Now, Odir was actually prepared for that because the king was on Sombra at the very beginning, so they could scout a little bit, probably knew that the Mei was there. However, there was still, I think, 1 or 2 people caught behind the wall as it went up, and that was enough to secure Odir the team fight.
Definitely more than enough right there. And looking at the ultimate bank, things are really, really stacked in Odir's favor. And speaking of the ultimate, big outcome now, the Shatter does find 4. It's not going to matter. Nicholas pops the Transcendence, and no one manages to die out of it right now. The rally also comes in. Sinosure finally falls. But Ryujan brings out the Transcendence to save the remainder of his team. Rattlesnake and Fierce and Elio all take out his 2 support counterparts and the Zarya. On the Baby Gnomes, Nicholas also falls to Fierce.
Fierce was on an absolute tear there. Like, he was ripping everyone open. That fully charged Zarya from him is scary. His tracking is very good, so I think he's got some good things in store. And one thing that he has in store, at least, is that Graviton Surge. And I'm going to be looking for that to be used here in this next team fight.
A rally into the wall. The Blizzard is not quite deep enough into Baby Gnome's ranks, but Elio does still manage to finagle a pick out of it. Jammin goes down. Sinosure does take down Fierce, though. That's a lot of damage. Absolutely eradicated from Odir's front lines. Captora, though, charges Nicholas and then removes Sinosure from the equation. And that's going to be another reset. And with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining on the clock, Odir have officially swung it past the point it took them to capture the first section.
Yeah, Odir holding very strong here, and that last team fight, they were able to draw it out a little bit, and they needed that because the king is, Fierce is just getting back now. That means he'll be lacking a little bit of energy, and both of his bubbles. Oh my gosh. Oh, Captora has enough shield to keep it up, and it's going to be a wipe with 50 seconds left. Baby Gnomes being pushed back into spawn.
That whole assault absolutely dead-ended when Captora took down Sinosure. And now, with 36 seconds remaining, this is 1 team fight territory.
And take a look at the ultimate bank. Chasm has his Mei ult up, and that Mei ult is extremely strong, especially when everyone's going to be pushing through the choke here. As long as he doesn't get it eaten.
He's got to pop it now. He's got to pop it now.
He pops it.
There it is.
It grabs 2 in it.
All 6.
3, 6. Into the iris. Everyone goes down. Oh my gosh.
And that's a team wipe with 5 seconds remaining. No one is going to be able to get there. Oh dear. Takes map 1.
Impressive. Oh dear. Really pulling it out there. I was not expecting that. With so much difficulty they had taking the first and second points. Oh, we'll take a look at this triple from bot-versing here. A huge setup from the... Oh no, this is a different one. Oh, this is the Shatter. That was Sinosure's
Lord.
gigantic Shatter, and then cleanup crew there at the end.
A quintuple on a charge on a left shift.
Impressive. 97% kill participation.
Woo! Jammin'.
Oh my goodness.
Well, map number 1. Right there.
Oh dear, coming up with a strong 1-0 lead in this best of 3. And in a short kind of setup like this, best of 3, these map wins mean a lot. There's no chance to kind of like gain and lose momentum. Really just have to commit all out. It's a sprint. It's not a marathon like the best of 5s. It's definitely a sprint to win.
Yeah, you could even say that winning one map is effectively halfway to total victory of the match.
It definitely is, I would say.
It's exactly that. I was wondering if that's where you were going.
It is definitely one half of a victory.
Precisely.
Alright, well, coming up next, we've got Route 66, or as I like to call it, Old Town Road.
I think for all of our viewers' sakes, we need to dial it back. Our puns tonight are a little bit out there for the standard viewer.
You know what? It's been a while. I need to get back into the groove.
We gotta fit in all of our popular culture memes now, and just shake off the rust and use all of our bad memes week one, so that all of our good stuff is still available for the grand finals.
And that includes our WWE casting. So
He is climbing up the ladder.
it doesn't have the same ring to it when you don't put the heart into it.
When I don't put my full-on cowboy hat into it.
Yeah. He is climbing up the ladder.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, a great YouTube video commentary of WWE, except with very underwhelmed announcers.
Like golf casters doing WWE.
And he is climbing up the ladder, but the Undertaker grabs his foot, and yeah, he's down on the ground. Now the Undertaker's trying, but he's too weak. He can't quite get it up there. And what's this? Oh, great! It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can hear his theme music playing as he walks out of the door.
And I can hear Baby Gnomes theme music playing right now. The best gnome.
I'm not even going to comment on that. The king, however, on the Sombra, completely invisible, running around into Odir's backline, giving them all of the information that they could ever possibly need. Looks like someone going for a little bit of a cheeky pick right there. Captura gets hacked, and German ends that push really quickly. Rattlesnake also taken down by their counterpart in Nicholas, pardon me. And Captura back now, so they're going to try once more. We are seeing again an aggressive positioning taken up by Baby Gnomes. And I thought we were going to see a cheeky little charge out of the side one there for a second, but it's not to be. Sinosure puts up the shield.
Oh,
Tries to hit
that's a
someone
good
with the hammer.
pick.
The Shatter only finds one, though. Captura baits it out masterfully. Fierce takes down the King. Cassim takes down Jammin. And now the push is really, really in Odir's favor. Elio finishing off Sinosure. Nicholas almost dead. I don't know why Master elected to pop that Transcendence right there. It seemed like an absolute utter waste with 3 members of Baby Gnomes already taken down.
Yeah, at that point, Baby Gnomes had lost at least 2. Sinosure was at a very, very low HP, and so I believe he popped it to try and save Sinosure, but it was a little bit of indecision, and that cost the main tank of Baby Gnomes their life.
Oh, and that Graviton's right next to each other in the middle is going to cost a lot, but there's a rally, there's a Transcendence, there's so much sustain. I don't even want to know how much HP was just healed right here. Here comes the Graviton. Who's it going to find? Fierce finds 2. Jammin and Nicholas gone. Sinosure taken down by Elio. Cassim adding to the frenzy. Master does take down Rio John, but it's not going to matter. The payload has reached the first point, and the doors begin to creak open as Odir continues to press their assault.
That was a very scrappy fight. Master came back on that Ana and did insane work on the with that purple grenade. It seemed that everyone from Odir was caught in a Graviton Surge from Botversing, and they were all purple, so I thought, you know, maybe the fight was won that way. However, they weren't able to finish it off, and Baby Gnomes just didn't output enough damage. And then the King comes in with a late EMP on the team, still wasn't able to get anything, so Baby Gnomes in a tough spot now. Only the Nano Boost to help win this next fight, and there it is. It's going on to Sinosure.
Sinosure runs in, but I don't know if they're going to be able to find anyone. No, they charge up and no one's there. Jammin does take down Cass, and Sinosure does double back and take down Captor, and that's going to be a reset for Oh Dear, but they're going to have at least an ultimate. Elio with the Graviton Surge ready to rock and roll. A couple others aren't very close, but they're getting there. But this would be the perfect opportunity for them to full-on press while... Oh, I spoke too soon, but Versing has their own Graviton. We might see point-blank uses of Zarya ultimates one more time.
Yeah, we've, Oh my gosh, that's a huge stun! Chasm, an absolute legend. Stunning the Reinhardt out of his Earth Shatter while Captora was hacked. That means that if Sinosure had landed that Shatter, the entire team of Odir would have been just absolutely in a bad spot, I think.
If you want to talk about the pinnacle of a heads-up play, that was it.
Fierce has this mech back on D.Va, and so that is going to be 3 ultimates ready. However, they're almost all negated except for Rattlesnake, who finds himself outside of the radius of the EMP, using that beat on his team. The Shatter comes in, but no one's stunned on the side of Baby Gnomes.
There's a little bit of a desperation Shatter in my opinion, and it's not really going to pay any kind of dividends whatsoever. Sinosure takes down 2, and that's going to be a reset for Oh Dear one more time. They're going to have Fierce with the D.Va Bomb for this next assault, and Baby Gnome still has nothing. They're close to a Shatter and they're close to a Sound Barrier, but that's about it.
Yeah, the ultimate bank doesn't look great on either side. Like you said, coming up on the Shatter, the Sound Barrier on defense, but on attack side, it's going to be that D.Va Bomb. They're only halfway, Odir's only halfway to a Graviton Surge, so chances are they're not going to wait for that combo. It's just going to be a dry bomb from Fierce here.
They got to be really careful. Sinosure in position and launches the Shatter, takes down 2. Where's the capitalization going to be coming from? It's not. Well, it's versing D-Max Fierce, but that's it. Captora takes down Jammin, and that ultimate, one of the few that they had available, one of 2, but now they have 2 more, does absolutely nothing. Fierce still has the D.Va Bomb, but is hacked. Captora has the Shatter and elects to use it. Not going to be paying too many dividends right here. Sinosure takes down Cassidy, and now the ultimates are falling in line for Oh Dear, but they're going to have to find picks with them. That hack catches everyone, but it's not going to matter. Fierce takes down 2, Captora takes down another one, and this is probably going to be the point for Oh Dear.
I would say so. The King has gotten some beefy EMPs, however, they've been at the most inopportune times that I've ever seen. There's been practically no follow-up on any of them, and while he's getting them decently fast, he's just using them at bad times. So I'm not sure if Baby Gnomes is uncomfortable running the Sombra comp, or, you know, maybe the King is just kind of forced into bad positions constantly, but it seems like a rough comp.
Oh, Sinosure knocked down, but the sleep comes in, but it's not enough to save the Baby Gnome's main tank's life. Sinosure falls to Kasim's mace, and the payload moves ever forward under Oh Dear's watchful guidance.
With Sinosure down, Oh Dear is pushing up and taking a lot of space.
Oh no, the King drops down behind Ryujong.
Oh, okay.
Zenyatta manages to escape.
That's a really good play. That draws Oh Dear back and allows Sinosure to get back up in position, and position he takes with this nano boost. He's swinging away, is able to find Chasm, throws out a Fire Strike, and does 85% to the Shatter. Probably won't have to use it here, but it's good insurance policy for next fight, especially with 1 minute left, and that's a stagger.
That is absolutely brutal, watching that Zenyatta go down. Captora was doing such a spectacular job of protecting the entirety of their team as they backed away, but now they have to wait. Ryujong is back, but there's only 43 seconds remaining. This is one team fight territory, and we've got tons of ultimates, 4 for Baby Gnomes and 3, almost 4 for Oh Dear.
Oh, it's a big hack.
Huge!
Sinosure is able to block the bomb, the early bomb from Fierce, but everyone on Oh Dear was taken out before they could even use their ultimates. Captora will have this Shatter, but She may not even be able to stay alive to use it. 10 seconds left to get back to the point. Can they do it?
10 seconds.
I don't know if they have anyone that's fast enough to actually reach it besides Rattlesnake. And Fierce is slept. No flying for them. The left shift isn't going to do it. Half a second and it's not enough. No one gets there in time.
Unfortunate. Oh dear, not able to get to the point. The payload didn't even really make it past that corner once they rounded it. That's actually 100% credit to the King on the side of Baby Gnomes, using that Sombra to drop down while Odir was only pushing with the Zen on point. That's a very good situational heads-up play from the Sombra, and paid dividends that saved them potentially the entire map, but at the very least it saved them probably 30 meters of payload.
We saw lots of extremely good heads-up plays there from both teams, doing the best they could to ensure their team's success. So far, this has been a very impressive match for both teams.
Absolutely. So let's talk about our win conditions here. We've got Baby Gnomes going in on the attack this time, and not too sure what they'll run. It's fairly likely that they'll run the triple-triple. I would say Odir at this point will definitely run triple-triple based on what we've been seeing. And they have to make it through 2.5 points. This first point should be pretty easy for that kind of setup, especially if it's kind of standard both sides. Second point, that's where things can get a little bit interesting as you see so much variation in the high ground, different pathing opportunities, stuff like that. So I will be... Go ahead.
We are going to be seeing Odir take another aggressive position right around the corner instead of setting up for any other kind of a push. But nothing in their backline, no Sombra, no flanks. Just straight on waiting for Baby Gnomes to come to them.
And Baby Gnomes, the King is looking around. Oh, he's not scouting. He's sticking on the Sombra. This is an attack Sombra run from Baby Gnomes. Captor is hacked. The target focus, the stun comes out. They're one, but Odir's team keeps Cap up. The DMEC comes out though, and a gigantic purple and a huge shatter from Sinosure.
The shatter, even though it doesn't lead to a follow-up onto too many, it takes down Captora, the main tank, and that's enough. And this is probably going to be reset territory. Yep, reset territory as the rest of Odir is mopped up. And we might be able to see one more total fight before this cart gets to the point, but they did get it surprisingly far, even while they were engaged in combat.
I think we will see the second fight here. They have a nano boost to a commit and a shatter from Captora, and the rally's going to go out as well. Oh, everyone's kind of stuck here behind the wall. Oh, and it's a shatter from Cap. Is not able to find anything, and it's a big EMP shatter follow-up. And Sinosure landing an absolute unit of a shatter onto Odir.
Oddly enough, it doesn't matter though. Ilio takes down Sinosure. Kasim also takes down Bots Versing. And the card is coming to a dead stop as the Baby Gnomes are forced to reset with two of their... Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, he's gonna do it to him.
No.
He's gonna do it to him.
The King.
He's not.
The King
He's doing it?
He's doing it.
Oh, someone's on it.
Test comes in.
A little bit interesting decision not to decloak there. I feel like he could have C9'd that 100%, but...
Definitely the C9 was a possibility, and that shatter does find at least two. Here comes the bomb.
Oh,
Fierce finds
Fierce.
two. Sinosure and the King gone.
So I believe that Fierce is new to the Odir lineup as of this season, and he's really pulling his weight here. We've seen him play the Zarya to great success, as well as this D.Va now, so I'm very impressed overall. I think he's doing a great job, and definitely adding value to the lineup.
Yeah, I completely agree there. This is not someone that we saw playing, at least not on Odir's intermediate team. I don't know if they were part of the Odir brand at any point, but regardless, it doesn't matter right now because with the power of the bomb and the power of the beam laser definitely doing damage. As many are gathered up, Captora gets charged into a wall. The hack finds 5 again! The King continually finds multiple opponents. Shatter doesn't do a whole lot. Cassim does get knocked down, and Jammin finishes them off, but Sinister's gone again. Elio removing the main tank as a factor, but Captora falls, Rejon falls, and this is probably cleanup territory. The point is almost definitely going to be going to the baby gnomes, and as Elio falls, the cart advances, and the payload reaches checkpoint 1.
Finally, Baby Gnome's able to push it. 3 minutes to get it through this next section, and it's kind of running a similar time as Oh Dear had the first time, so not too much to worry about if you're Baby Gnomes right now. I would say maybe you committed a few too many ults there, the Nano Boost and the Shatter. You know, the Shatter was definitely necessary. Nano Boost, maybe not so much, but Oh Dear nonetheless has the ultimates to go in and stop this. And it's going to be the engage with the rally from Chasm. The Shatter from Captora, not able to find any value. Fierce hacked in the back from the King, and it's going to be dual Gravitons again.
How many times have we seen this point blank Graviton where Fierce finds, I'm going to call him Nick because I'm sick of mispronouncing his name, and that is one key pick. Ryujon does get hacked, but it doesn't matter. The Nano Boost has already been sent away, but now there's 3 ultimates quickly, and the Shatter from Baby Gnomes takes down 2, and the follow-up is there. 3 fall, and then a 4th. Elio goes down. Rattlesnake decides to end it all the correct way, not feeding any ultimate charge to Baby Gnomes. And the car's probably going to get halfway to the checkpoint there.
That was a very scrappy fight. It looked like Oh Dear had a massive advantage, at least with ultimates rolling in, and then it kind of all fell apart. They weren't able to get the target focus and clean up fast enough, so Baby Gnome's able to build some ultimates and fight back.
Again, the King comes in and finds 5, but Rattlesnake finds themselves outside of the area of effect and pops their sound barrier, going to keep everybody alive. No one has fallen just yet. Cassim also pops the rally. All the sustain is here. Here comes the Graviton. Here comes the counter. Shatter out of the Graviton. Not going to find anyone. Sinosure and Jammin take down Cassim and Rattlesnake. Another Shatter pops off. Lots Versing takes down Captora. And this is just mop-up duty now, with only Elio remaining on the payload. And they're going to get it with 55 seconds left. They have 2 minutes and 25 to get this payload halfway to the final checkpoint.
Baby Gnomes is very happy about that push there. They're able to take it with a decent amount of time left and without committing too many ultimates. They did use that Graviton from bot versing, but he's got decent charge, and I feel like he can build it up pretty fast. You got 3 ultimates otherwise, and that may be enough to kind of start this steamroll.
And you have to watch out. The King is already at 90%, going forward by leaps and bounds. All of the ultimates. Here's the Graviton. The King and Jammin take down Captora and Cassim. That's not good, and that's the hack
Huge EMP.
of the remaining 3 players of Oh Dear that were still up. This is probably going to be it, and it is. Baby Gnomes takes map number 2 in this best of 3 series.
That was a huge play at the end there to take out Captora. I'll explain it after this play of the game here. Fierce with a Diva Bomb, I'm gonna guess. Ooh, nice, nice. Dodges the Shatter, gets a nice double, and then cleanup crew at the end. Excellent work from Fierce, like we were talking about earlier, adding a ton of value. Not able to pull it out for his team on this particular map, but yeah.
Well, we're going to be going to map 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. It's going to be a real nail-biter here. 1-1 in this best of 3. And both teams doing very well. Let's check the final map here. I'm actually not entirely sure which one it's going to be. I believe Numbani. Yep. It'll be Numbani for our last map here. I don't envision a tie on Numbani, so we probably won't have to go to a tiebreaker map. But like I mentioned before, the play at the end there to take out Captora, what happened was the Sombra actually came in from behind, hacked Captora, I believe, And then the Lucio booped her out of position, and so everyone was kind of able to gang up on her as she was CC'd out of position, and that's really what won the fight. It's incredible that in Overwatch there are just abilities where you can win the fight off of them instead of ultimates. So using cooldowns is, you know, sometimes just as important as using ultimates in order to win a team fight.
And that ultimate usage is definitely going to be put to the test here with some wide open spaces, interspaced with very, very tight choke points. So we're going to see, I'm imagining Diva Bombs dropped into various clusters of people on the points. We're going to, I think we'll see a sniper or two.
On Numbani, maybe on second we could see a sniper, but the first point, I think you'll still see some bunker compositions on defense. You'll often see a bastion set up there in the corner. We saw a pretty interesting strat the other day when we casted a different game. It was Numbani, wasn't it? Remember that?
It was Numbani, yeah, with the bastion strat, and I think was that the map with the Torbjorn as well, or was that was Hanamura? Never mind.
Yeah, I believe that was Hanamura. However, for Numbani here, we have a Bastion, potentially. We have that Orisa. We have, what was it, Junkrat? Is that what it was?
I think it was Junkrat.
It was a Junkrat. So, essentially, one team, or the defense team would be holed up here in the top left corner, and they'd be shooting with their normal Bastion. Then there's a Junkrat hanging out. So as the enemy team is forced to path into this hallway behind the Bastion, the Junkrat just lays down massive amounts of splash, gets a Riptire every time. It was a pretty good strat. I liked it. Interesting.
Yeah, it was certainly better than Goats.
Benny, think any composition would be better than Goats in your opinion?
For battle.
You would be correct. I am a supporter of diversity in all of its many forms.
Bot versing, currently playing with my feelings right now. On that Roadhog. Gosh dang it.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
We were this close. Goats?
But no.
A team of your talents? Gotta get our Rogue One memes in there.
At least we're going to be seeing Master bringing out the Ana, so that's something a little bit different. And oh, look at this! Oh, never mind. Ilio was on Pharah for a minute, also playing with my feelings, and I was wondering how Kasim was going to feel about this. Traditionally a Pharah player himself.
Did you say Pharah player?
Yeah, you got a problem?
Chasm's a real player, huh? Okay.
Just because English is hard doesn't mean that this battle between Oh Dear and Baby Gnomes isn't going to be spectacular, but Captora is gone already. Jammin' hits down the monkey. Elio gone, courtesy of Nick. And that's gonna be a bit of a soft reset as Oh Dear pulls on back to wait for their comrades to return from the dead.
Captora wanting to play this Winston here, and it's really not a bad play because of the high ground and the mobility that you can gain while playing Winston. However, she decided to walk up the main hallway here and face tank the entirety of the damage, and you're never going to win a face tank battle against a Reinhardt when you're playing Winston. So, unfortunately, taken down quickly, and it's a big shatter, finds three.
Oh my lord.
Sinosure wiping the floor right now. Sinosure has been huge this entire series, Benny.
Sinosure has been a dominating force. Going straight up into head-to-head battles with Captora in the previous two maps, more than managed to hold his own and win in several scenarios. And we're seeing him now without a Reinhardt on Oh Dear, just absolutely having his way with any assault that comes towards him.
Yeah, Sinosure, massive plays. However, it's the high ground that Captora is now taking, and has the Winston ultimate going. All kinds of ultimates going on. Oh my gosh, what's happening? The EMP
Fierce
comes
manages to
out.
take out Sinister. That's actually really huge. They get all gathered up into a graviton. Sinister starts swinging with a hammer, but Fierce just directed bullet after bullet into the bulk of his frame, and they weren't able to capitalize on it at all. And instead of all going down and being heavily damaged, Oh Dear pushes straight onto the point and gets a tick. Cassim and Elio paying dividends on the fringes right there. Sinister trying to come back in, but it's not going to matter. They push them all the way back, and this is going to be the first point. Oh no, the king in the back line dueling against Ryu Zhang. But it's not going to be. Point one captured, payload underway. 4 minutes for Odir to get to the next checkpoint.
The king was able to draw a few minutes or a few seconds of time away. Not a huge deal, but it does help. Every little second counts here. And on the side of Baby Gnomes, they're going to need all the help they can get. And along with that, they've got 3 ultimates to help them out. So the Shatter, the Rally, and the Beat could all be used to offensively engage, but I think it'll be the Rally, yep, and maybe the Shatter here coming out.
Let's see if we're going to see it. We're not going to see it, but the Graviton does go straight into the back line.
Ooh, it's huge!
Oh, the huge Shatter. Sinister takes down 1 and 2 now, and that assault is fully capitalized upon.
This man lands like 3-man shatters every time. Very good. So he just used it. He's at 60% again. It's impressive. Captora finally swapping over to the Reinhardt in order to duel this. And I think Odir made just the right call here. They definitely need a Reinhardt for this extra sustain and to be able to block these shatters.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Ooh, that's a big nano boost. He has the shatter up now. Is he going to use it? Or will he just take the fight here in the spawn? Jammin finds himself way far forward.
Captora has to be really careful with that nano boost right there, because if they get a little bit too aggressive, Sinister could punish the whole team. Fortunately, no one lines up behind Captora. There's the hack again, but it doesn't catch Captora. Captora breaks out the big rectangle, and everyone stands behind it. Sinister, though, does punish them all the same. And that is a hard reset.
Was Captora bubbled there? Is that why she was able to keep the shield up?
I think that might have been the case. I think she was just outside of the hack range.
Oh, that could be as well.
Tell from this angle.
Either way, Baby Gnomes didn't even need it. They didn't need the shatter. They were able to just absolutely clean up. That's what we've been seeing a lot. Bot versing drops in that Graviton Surge, and it's going to be a beat to try and sustain. Captora lands a nice shatter, finding 2. And looks like Odir may be able to push a little bit. Nicholas not letting the cart move at all, though. Being able to stall on the backside as Lucio here. Trying to fight for every inch and every second, and he's still up. Oh, finally slept and bursted down.
So, according to the chat, his name is actually Sinosure instead of Sinosure.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure about linguistics in that scenario, but okay,
We'll do it.
It's fine. We'll call him Sinosure from now on.
60 seconds remaining.
60 seconds left, and it's going to be Oh Dear trying to hold off. Trying to push forward, I'm sorry. Getting my teams mixed up a little bit. And they're able to take it with no contest here. A little bit of a misplay from Baby Gnomes. And what's happening? Why is everyone using ultimates?
This is a ridiculous point to be holding at. With 2 whole minutes, they just got the first point, and it's an absolute waste of a Diva Bomb, but that's not a waste of a Shatter. Sinosure destroys Elio with a charge, and the King also capitalizes. Captora goes down, and Master in the backline adds a little bit of damage himself. Cassim falls to some poison in his veins.
Finally, Baby Gnome's able to stabilize a little bit here. In terms of ultimates, they've got things pretty well on lockdown. They have this EMP if they want to go for an early engage. And let's take a look at the King, because it seems that an early engage is prevalent. He's going to be dropping in, finding 6. And that's Rattlesnake. The first time that I've actually seen him be caught out of position. Normally excellent positioning, just this one time maybe wasn't expecting the EMP.
And that was a real quick steamroll as Cynosure and Versing take out multiple on that particular push. But the King, again, I haven't seen them find less than 4 in an EMP. It's usually 5 or 6. Like you said, Rattlesnake, that was probably the first time they got straight up caught in an EMP along with everybody else. And here comes the rally right now. This is the big push. All of the ultimates coming into play. Captura takes down 2. Nick and Master fall. Cynosure also gone. Bots Versing removed by Cassim. Cassim on another tear takes down Jammin. And this is going to get the card at least halfway. Will we see slow composition yet?
This play was actually like Giga Brain from Baby Gnomes if they can pull it off. They literally took a dry fight there at the choke, and they're going to come out with 5 ultimates here. With 15 seconds left, this is really all they need. And it's, oh my gosh, it's everything coming out. The Eat, though, fierce. Eats a nano boost?
Yeah, he eats an Animos. Nano King, though, immediately D-Max Fierce after that. Here comes the big ol' Shatter. Doesn't do nearly as much damage as Cynosure would have liked, but it's not going to matter. Overtime sticking with, but Rattlesnake in the backline. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Gets found out. They just needed to wait just a little bit longer. Hidden, but that's going to be it. Overtime will tick away as the Graviton stalls all the remaining pressure. And round 1, the payload is stopped just short of the checkpoint.
So like I said, Baby Gnomes took a dry fight there at the end. They were willing to lose it just so that they could come back with full strength all at the same time. So excellent discipline from them, good planning, and it worked exactly how they wanted it to. So props to Baby Gnomes there. Cynosure is a god tier player, basically XQC. Maybe. I mean, I can't speak to his personality or anything, but he's landed some big brain chatters this evening, I would say.
Huge brain. Huge.
Giga brain.
Mega mind. Like that old Disney villain with the big blue head.
The big blue mans. The guy from Despicable Me, right?
No, that's from that's actually from Megamind.
Is that a real movie?
That is a real movie.
Oh.
I think it's a Disney film, unless it's a Pixar film.
Oh, okay.
It's that film where the superhero's getting an award and someone in the crowd says, "I love you," and he's like, "And I love you, random citizen." Something crap. That meme. That's an old meme, but it's all the same.
I am I'm unfamiliar with it.
You really hate to see that.
You know what else I'm unfamiliar with? A team running this character, McCree. What? I thought this character was... I didn't think he was in the game. Have you seen this character in Overwatch before?
I have no idea anything about this character or this character's skill set, but I am very excited to learn.
Let's take a look at his abilities. He appears to be clicking people from long range. Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like it.
Absolutely inconceivable right here, scenes that we are seeing on point 1 of Numbani.
He's able to output a decent amount of damage from the high ground, and Fierce is going to come in with the cleanup on Cynosure, the D-Mech onto Bot Versing, and Baby Gnomes dropping like flies over here.
I've never heard this sound effect before. It's like a 6-shooter or something. I've never heard a legitimate gunshot. It's very strange. Elio, though, trying to get a cheeky line of sight down there. Not going to see anyone as Baby Gnomes runs on back to try and regroup a little bit. He is drawing out some fire, though.
Elio actually has this high noon ready as well. One of the pluses to McCree, maybe his ultimate isn't the best, but he does build it very quickly. And so he'll be able to potentially zone out Baby Gnomes a little bit as they push in here for this next fight.
Push in they do. They're going all the way around trying to get the high ground. Oh dear, has to try and reorient here. Oh, the high noon. The high noon, but will it find anyone?
Oh, the Primal comes out from Captora to try and push them into line of sight, but it's not enough. Ilio gets a little bit of damage. Master on the high ground taken out. And it's the other support, Nicholas, is going to be dueling McCree. Ryuje Hong is able to help up here on the high ground. However, this battle, while taking place up there, has been lost on the ground. Baby Gnomes finally able to take the first point here.
Your support does absolutely nothing if you don't have infantry to secure the objective, and that's exactly what we saw happen right there.
There were two or three people from Odir up on the high ground, and despite picking the Ana early, Master was taken out pretty quickly. The ground war, like you said, was already won. Tank line absolutely decimating Odir. Baby Gnomes looking pretty strong as they're rolling through Street's face here with 4 ultimates online.
Oh no, 4 caught out by Sino Sure on the shatter. Bot versing finds Captura fierce, demeched. And that's going to be a soft reset as Odir scrambles away. I don't know why Kasim popped the rally. Maybe it's a little bit of sustain, but it was all for naught. It bears no fruit. Sino Sure fire strikes down fierce. Pardon me, I think that was a charge. Whatever the case, fierce is dead. That's the bottom line. And we might still see one team fight. There are enough ultimates on the side of Odir to stall here, but are they going to get there in time? Captura walks right up.
And it's going to be the nano boost onto the brig, and it scares Odir off the point. We're seeing these ultimates being used right as they cap the point. Perhaps that shows my ignorance of this map, but I'm not really sure why you do that. I guess the cart continues on pretty quickly, so it's not completely lost if you use all these ultimates. Still seems a little weird to me though.
Here we see a hyper-aggressive bit of positioning taken up by Baby Gnomes. Here comes the rally, and this is not going to be good. Here comes the bomb. It finds no one. The shatter finds no one. The graviton comes in. Who's going to capitalize? Here comes the Diva Bomb.
Oh, the Diva Bomb from Fierce taking it down.
And this is not good though. They are meters away. Oh dear, has to hold it at this point for 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Captura gone, and it's not going to happen. No one is close enough to stop it. And Baby Gnomes takes map 3 and takes the match.
Baby Gnomes looking very strong, and jamming on this Brigitte will take the play of the game. Let's take a look at what they're able to do here. This is the first point hold. The huge shatter lined up from Sinosure, as we've been seeing the entire evening. And then cleanup crew blocking people out from getting out of the doorway. Grabs that rally on the way out. 87% kill participation. Absolutely huge for the side of Baby Gnomes.
Sinosure there with 12 Earth Shatter kills, 26 stuns just on that map alone. It's a very impressive number.
Alright, well, thus concludes our best of 3 here. Baby Gnomes pulling ahead with a 2-1 victory, and they're going to take the first week victory in UGC Premier League. Congratulations to Baby Gnomes, and a well-deserved performance, I would say.
Indeed, that was... You want to talk about the definition of scrappy, like was said in the comments earlier. That was every fight fought to the last man at point-blank range. I can't even count the amount of times we saw 2 Graviton Surges put within hammer swinging distance of each other.
There was no concern about fighting right on top of each other. The Reinhardts and the Brigittas just absolutely swinging at each other. It was pretty intense the way that things were going there. It was lots of grabs, lots of combos. Impressive stuff.
That it was, and I think, have we reached for the first time in a month and a half that time?
I believe it is that time of the evening. And that is, for those of you who are new this season, that is MVP of the evening. We give an MVP to both teams. And so we'll start out with Odir. Who would you say is the MVP on their side?
I'm gonna have to say it's the only person that remains in the lobby from Odier's side. Fierce. With the Diva bombs, with the Zarya charge, decimating anyone who approached them slowly, especially in the first map and a half. Things maybe tapered off a little towards the end, but always pulling their weight. That you can be sure of. And as a player on Odier that we did not see on their intermediate team last season, definitely doing work.
I would agree. Fierce doing some absolute great stuff on the Zarya and on the Diva. Able to eat a Graviton, even though the kill feed said it ate a Nano Boost, which just is incorrect. Was able to eat a Graviton at the end, and dealing out Gravitons of his own, so very impressive stuff from him, I would say. Now, moving on to the victorious team, Baby Gnomes, there was a lot of people who really stood out to me, and I know who I think you'll pick, but I'm going to pick mine first, and that's going to be Master. We saw some great flexibility between the Zenyatta and the Ana, and it seemed like every single fight, Master was just purpling the entirety of Odier with that Biotic Grenade. So I'm going to give it to him, and I think it's well-deserved. That Ana pick is sometimes really hard to play into Goats, especially against a Diva and all those shields, but he was just landing purple grenades in sleep so consistently.
Well, you say you know who I'm going to pick, but I'm going to before I pick the person you think I'm going to pick. I'm going to give a shout out to the King, because all of the backline Sombra hacks, catching out 5 or 6 people every time they pressed Q, is phenomenal positioning. So that has to be addressed. And I give my MVP to Sinoshirt because
surprising absolutely no one.
Surprising absolutely no one, least of all my casting partner. Someone who can play Rhine with that level of confidence and hit that many fat shatters is an excellent, most deserving person of an MVP status in my book. And also the shield positioning was incredibly good. There was some good baiting, there was good positioning, there was good protection of the team. And there was also catching out 3, 4, 5 people with a hammer down on multiple occasions.
Absolutely. Sinoshirt going absolutely massive this evening and pulling out the victory for his team. So congratulations to Baby Gnomes. And so concludes the first of our casts for Season 10 of UGC. And I just want to thank you guys all for the huge support this evening. We got like so many followers. Insomniac, Mick... I'm gonna butcher names. Okay.
It's okay. We've been butchering names all evening. I think it's a fine point to continue butchering names.
Mixiska, Dork Shadow, The Edge 06, Denali Husky, Justin Spartan, Red Ninja, Golden Groudon, Cold Ramen, and Charge. Thank you all so much for the follows and for the bits in the chat. I saw all of them. Burret and Golden Groudon and Dandy, my boy. Thank you guys for the stream support. And if you want to see us again, we'll be back here tomorrow evening. Is that right?
Yeah, I think we've actually got a double feature for you all tomorrow. I think we have an 8 p.m. cast. Give me just a moment while I pull this up here real quick. We are going to have... Oh, load, please. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, we are going to have an 8 p.m. cast of Bambi Brigade, which is the intermediate division of Odier, versus Unchained Esports. That again is at 8 p.m. And immediately following that, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be casting Four House versus Winter Solstice, another intermediate division matchup.
All right. Well, you heard it. Doubleheader here tomorrow evening. If you guys like Overwatch casting and watching Goats, come on back. We'll be happy to have you. So I appreciate all of your support, and for the chat and the memes. You guys are a bunch of memers. Evening, I saw all of it. Which memes? But
A language I am not familiar with.
Yes, Benny does not know. We appreciate you all. So
Not well trained.
have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your night.
Farewell, everyone, and look forward to seeing hopefully a lot of you tomorrow. Peace.
And so concludes